Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Well, guys, it's obviously end of season, coming towards the end of the season. 5 league games left and hopefully 2 cup games left. Obviously, that big semi-final on Sunday at Hampden Park against our rivals from across the city. Anyway, as you come towards the end of the season, obviously thoughts always turn to end-of-year awards, player of the season, etc., etc. Obviously for the SPFL and so on. But obviously club awards as well come into that. Obviously, player of the year, young player of the year, etc., etc. And this morning, Rangers did announce who their nominees were for player of the season. And it's fair to say that it caused a little bit of a raised eyebrows in some areas, and even one or two Rangers fans perhaps suggesting that there shouldn't actually be a player of the season this year. Given the fact that Rangers have obviously not been very good this season, and perhaps one or two players have really let the club down with their performances this season, and the fact that obviously we're so far behind our rivals this season is perhaps, obviously no cause for any sort of celebration. However, the three nominations that they put forward were, let's start obviously with the first one, which was James Tavernier, the captain. Now, I suppose, there can be an argument made for Tav, in terms of Tav's season. You look at Tav's season this season and he at the moment he leads the goal scoring charts for Glasgow Rangers. He's played 33 games this season, scored 15 goals and got 7 assists. That's 22 goal contributions in 33 games in the league, which is quite impressive. 1 assist in 3 matches in the Scottish League Cup, 2 goals from 10 matches in the Champions League as well. So you could argue, that obviously Tav is perhaps worthy of that nomination. At the end of the day, it's open for argument. I know there are some fans that don't like Tav. There are some fans that don't rate him as a defender, and he's certainly very good going forward, and that's what a lot of fans say. So I think obviously that one is one that can cause a bit of controversy. The next nomination was Malik Tillman, obviously the young player, young United States international who is on loan here from Bayern Munich, who the club still have to make a decision over. As to whether they're going to keep him or not. I mean, certainly all we're hearing coming out of the club is that he will be returning for the 2023-2024 season, and Rangers are seeking to make that £5 million move permanent. This season, he's played 28 games. He scored 10 goals and 4 assists. That's 14 goal contributions in 28 games, so half of the games, basically. Scottish League Cup, he's played 3 games, no goals, no assists. UEFA Champions League, 9 matches, 1 goal. So, you could argue, young player, 14 goal contributions in his first ever season in professional football. Pretty decent return from Malik Tillman. Now, the third name was one that did cause a great deal of controversy. That is Bona Barassi. Now, Bona Barassi is someone who I think, several Rangers fans do not think is worthy of a nomination. Bona's stats this year: 29 games, 1 goal, 9 assists, 10 goal contributions in the league, 2 matches, no goals, no assists in the League Cup, and 10 matches, no goals, no assists in the Champions League. I think what sort of causes a bit of controversy when it comes to Bona is the fact that obviously there's a number of times this season where he's been caught sleeping at the back post for goals. I mean, no more so than obviously the game on Sunday against Aberdeen, and some of the defensive howlers and defensive rickets have come through bad play by Bona. So I think there's 1 or 2 fans certainly out there that don't think that Bona Barasic's name should be on this list. It's an interesting list, none the same, for Tav, Malik and Bona. Some fans even arguing that you could argue that Todd Cantwell's done more in the 4 months that he's been here than those 3 players have done combined. That was one argument that I saw earlier on social media, that Cantwell his name should be in there. Obviously, he hasn't spent a whole season here, but they're saying that in 4 months he's impressed more than Tav, Malik and Bona. But, it's always going to be a situation that's going to cause controversy. I think, in a season where Rangers don't win the league, and a season where Rangers are currently 13 points behind our rivals, that we've got 1 game left that really means something this season, that semi-final. It's a must-win game, and if Rangers were, heaven forbid, to lose that game, obviously then would come out of the season with absolutely nothing, and probably leading to that lot from across the city winning yet another treble, which would not be fantastic at all, and we'd never hear the end of it now, would we? But certainly interesting 3 names. I'd love to get your opinions, what you think. Are any of those three players worthy of player of the season? Or do you agree with what other fans are saying, that it should be Cantwell because he's done more in 4 months than they've done in the entire season? What do you think? Give me your thoughts and opinions. It's always going to be a decision that divides the fan base, isn't it? I think in a season, like I said, where Rangers have not been successful, there's always going to be those who turn against this decision. And, Tav's done very good this season. Malik's done good this season. Yes, I know the argument against Malik Tillman is he's gone missing in big games against Celtic. Obviously, he's got 2 games where he can show us that that's not the case. Hopefully, he will do that starting on Sunday. But, interesting nonetheless. So let me know in the comments below what you think of these 3 nominations. I'll be back to speak to you again tomorrow on Glasgow Rangers Nation. Your team every day, daily news, podcasts, and much more. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'm about to speak to you again really soon.